Now, Amnesty International South Africa says it's concerned about the increase in sexual offences. There's been a 1.7% increase. Sexual assault is up by 4.2%. Rape also increased by 1.7%. Amnesty has detailed a list of interventions for the police minister to reduce GBV. Campaigner Jennifer Wells speaks to us now. Jennifer, thank you for joining us. Just firstly, we've said so many times that government needs to do more. Then government comes back to say no, but the public and private organizations also need to help us. Give us a list of what Amnesty thinks needs to be done, because these numbers just keep rising.
They do indeed, and thank you for having me. The numbers are appalling. We are shocked and just so disheartened at seeing these increases in statistics. So what we're calling on government to do is to ensure that they increase their efforts to make sure that the rights of women and girls are protected and upheld, that these violations are properly documented and investigated and dealt with in a timely manner. Specifically, we're calling on the Minister of Police to ensure that police, when they're investigating cases of GBV and femicide, gather evidence in a constitutional and timely manner, that there is no corruption amongst the police, that police follow timely processes, and that they're trained to sensitively and effectively deal with these things.
But of course, Jennifer, we all know that compared to, the crime stats may come out, but we've also found out over the last couple of years that some cases are even not reported because victims are too scared to report them because, first of all, police might turn them back, or even the courts themselves, when they get to court, they feel as though they are the ones on trial.
Absolutely. And we hear this often, that women don't feel safe, or that anything is going to come of their reporting their statistic. So their case. So when we hear about these statistics, almost 700 more cases of rape were documented in the past year. We know that these are only the cases that we're hearing about. We also know that most of the sexual offences and sexual assaults that are committed against women. So it's a very closed space. Women are not feeling comfortable or protected enough to come forward. Often when they come and report these sorts of things, they're met with police officers not believing them, not taking them seriously. So it's a very kind of hostile and abrasive environment.
Now, lastly, in terms of, you remember last year there was that crisis that there's some, equipment that the police are supposed to use when a rape survivor comes to report a case. When it comes to things like that, how important is it that the police ministry makes sure that police also, it's not all the police who are corrupt, of course, although we found out about a few who are. How important is it for government to make sure that police are equipped with whatever they need to make sure that sexual violence and GBV cases are met at an appropriate level?
It is so important. Having police officers that are properly trained, properly equipped, it's a no-brainer, really. It should be there from the start. We are women, we are humans, and we're not being treated like them at the moment. Our statistics, as we've seen in this SAPS report, are through the roof. It begins from the very bottom, where we need to know that should these things happen to us that shouldn't be happening in the first place, we will then receive the proper care, attention that we deserve when we go and report these kind of things. Urgent action is needed. These statistics cannot continue to rise year by year. This is a war on women and girls in our country, and urgent action is needed.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. That's Jennifer Wells of Amnesty International, of course, speaking to us about those numbers when it comes to GBV and femicide.